Good morning from Eau Claire Campground out in beautiful Kananaskis country, Alberta. It's another Bella the Boler camping adventure with DroneOCan.com. Just before 8 o'clock in the morning, sun's just started to peek up over the mountains to the east of us, and the coffee is on the camp stove. Got the propane fire pit going. Take some of the chill off here, and it's a great morning to be camping one more time. It's a little bit of a different camping trip this time. I'm going for pure convenience over tradition, and now I'm normally the most traditional guy you can find, but in this case I didn't even bring one stick of firewood with us. I'm going to count on the propane fire pit for all of our campfire needs, and there's kind of a reason for that. When we bought Bella the Boler, it had two 20-pound propane tanks on it, and the earliest date I can find on some of these is 1984. So I mean, obviously they were recertified at some point, but they're getting to be quite old, and rather than messing around with getting them recertified and rechecked, I just want to get another 20-pounder to use for our appliances. And so I'm trying to burn through as much propane as possible with these, and so I can dispose of them and get a new one. And I also found 4 of these old disposable propane canisters that we've been keeping around forever, and I don't really use those anymore, so I kind of want to burn through those and use those up as well. So I've got one of them going on the camp stove, and check out how old this one looks. Like this one, you can see the propane cylinder has actually started to develop rust around it. So I'm quite content to try and burn through those, use them up so that they can get disposed of as well. Because I mean, right now, other than the two 30-pound propane bottles on Bella, which you saw I finally replaced the one that got damaged in our road trip to Moose Jaw. The two 30-pounders on Bella are both new. One's from 2019, one's from 2022. Those I want to keep. I have the 30-pounder that we dropped at Brooks that I want to burn through eventually and get rid of. I got the two 20-pounders that came with Bella that I want to get rid of. I got the 4 disposable cylinders I want to get rid of. Like, how many propane tanks does one man need? And I have to admit, I'm becoming a really big fan of propane fire pits, not just during fire bans, but for really all your campfire needs. Like I said, I'm a traditionalist, and traditional as anybody, and so I really still enjoy, of course, the ceremony, the art of a proper campfire. But the propane fire pit is just so easy to do. I mean, I come out, I light a match or a lighter, boom, I have an instant fire. I can get the heat from it. It's just fantastic in that regard. It's light. I'm not carrying all that extra wood around in the back of the truck, taking up weight. So, you know, with today's fuel prices, every bit of weight you can save in your vehicle is a great bonus. So, I mean, the weight, the convenience, the safety factor of things. Like when, you know, I can fire it up here in the morning, take some of the chill off the campsite. When we go to leave to go exploring later today, which you will see as well, I can just turn the valve and the fire's out. I don't have to worry about stirring ashes and adding water and doing all of that stuff. So that's super convenient. Same at night when we're ready to go to bed. We just turn the knob, fire pit goes out, boom, we're done. We don't need to worry about putting the fire out before going to bed or leaving a fire unattended. And There's no smell. We don't have to keep moving around in a circle around the fire pit as the smoke shifts and blows into our faces. I never thought I'd be a proponent of propane fire pits, except in places when, or times when, fires aren't allowed, but I'm becoming a convert more and more. I'm not really sure who I am anymore. Dogs tangled. So we have reached the summit of the Highwood Pass. We didn't hike up here. Whoop, fall in the hole. We didn't hike up here. We drove Highway 40 here through Kananaskis, the highest maintained road in Canada. Comes right up to the summit of the Highwood Pass here. So all the trails leading from here are all closed due to wet conditions, so we can't actually do any hiking from here, but it's just such a great spot to stop and check out the scenery and let the dog play in the creek a little bit and just enjoy being in the mountains for a change. So good to be out and about. So we have moved a couple kilometers north from the Highwood Pass summit and stopped at another roadside point of interest. This one is Rock Glacier. Now, I'm not really familiar with rock glaciers, but we're going to take an opportunity and learn a bit more about them and see what kind of geological feature we're dealing with here. So according to the interpretive sign, which I happen to be right beside, basically the rock glacier is formed from the erosion of the mountain and fresh debris constantly falling down the steep cliff face and causing a rock to pile, and then as more rocks end up on top, it pushes down and moves slowly forward, much like a glacier. So yeah, this one here is formed from debris eroding off of Mount Ray, which at one time was a mountain I really wanted to climb, but now I suspect will probably never happen. So this is fun. Emily thinks she has spotted a Sasquatch.
Probably not, but...
And is going to try and see if she can capture something in a phone. Here, I'll take the dog so you can concentrate, because unlike all the... Hang on, I'm going to step in front of you here. Because unlike all other cryptid footage that you see online, we actually want ours to be stable and shot horizontally, not vertical. Vertical video sucks, everyone, just so you know. So I'll try and explain.
I think it's just the way the trees are moving.
Okay. Well, those people that hiked up that hill are probably thinking that we're stalking them and taking photos of them now anyway, so we'll get out of here before they come down and ask why we were fascinated with them. Go ahead.
I'm probably seeing things, but I looked up to that stand of trees and then the white rock just to the right of it, and right
There's the stand of trees
to the right of that,
a little rock there.
I swear I saw, it looked like a gorilla, kind of hunched over. And it looks like it's moving. Like, yeah, like it's moving. I don't know. It's probably just the trees, but man.
Well, I'm thinking that given that there's two hikers up there just to the left of that stand of trees, if there was something up there, they would probably see it.
Or it would be scared away. Yeah.
Oh well, that's still, it's interesting. Little excitement here at Rock Glacier. It's a very short path here, a few interpretive signs on the Rock Glacier, but interesting nonetheless. Emily has decided she's liking the lichen and has taken some photos on it on the rock there behind us, and Mabel and I are heading our way back to the truck. We're going to carry on, do a little more exploration here along Highway 40 in the Highwood Pass, then head back to camp and probably drink a cold beer and relax and look at trees for a while, which is one of my favorite things to do. So we're going to attempt to locate a geocache. This is a cache that was hidden by our friend Graham and Maureen back in 2011 that I've since adopted and taken over, and I haven't actually ever found it before, so it's going to be my first time trying to find it, and I immediately started by parking in the wrong place. I mean, don't get me wrong, the scenery here is great. So this is a lovely place to stop and pull over for a second, but we're over a kilometer away from the cache and I don't need to be that far. So having gone through the work of getting all the backpacks and everything organized and ready to hike, we're just going to hop back in the truck and drive down the highway a little bit. I feel shame. Okay, moved a little bit further south along the highway and now we're at the right place. Not nearly as nice a parking area as where we were originally, but that's okay. We're off the highway and that's all that matters, and clearly this is a pretty popular hike given by the number of cars here. So Emily's making a short walk back to the truck. She forgot her hiking poles, or I forgot to tell her that her hiking poles were in the truck, more accurately. So she's gonna run back and go grab them. Because even in this short little distance here, it's a pretty rocky little slope. And it just goes up. Now we only have to go about 400 meters up this trail, but we've got the equipment, why not use it? So while we wait for Emily, Mabel and I are gonna hide over here in the shadows, because as you probably noticed, I forgot my hat today. So I've double dosed with sunscreen, and hopefully that'll be enough to keep me from burning. It should be a relatively short hike. I know, famous last words, but we'll see what happens. Mabel's happy. Mabel always gets a little nervous when one of us is not present, and she knows we should be, so. I feel like at this point it's appropriate to make a Stranger Things Kate Bush reference about running up that hill.
Not running.
All right, let's carry on. Like I said, I'm expecting this to not be too bad. That's why we only have one backpack today. And we go from Kate Bush to Tom Petty and wildflowers. Great mix of colors here, whites and yellows and purple, some red. Amazing gathering of wildflowers on the hillside here. Photo op. Photo op is really just code for I'm stopping to catch my breath. Although photos are often taken at the same time. Now, I mean, we've barely gone 100 meters off the highway. But already it's like between the wildflowers, the waterfall kind of coming down Grizzly Creek there, those mountain views. I believe that is Grizzly Ridge to the left in the image here, which is, I believe, where this path eventually takes you if you are willing to go that far, which we are not today. But one day we will. How unpopular am I right about now?
Oh, it is beautiful. Not much.
I suspect the audio for this portion will just be me breathing heavy, but we are only 40 meters from the cache location now, so that's good. Just taking advantage of shady spots along the trail to sit and rest. It's been a pretty good uphill climb right from the highway to here. Mabel is also enjoying a break, and you can kind of see the highway way down there where we came from. I did not intend to do this in the peak heat of the afternoon. My original thought was that we would be here pretty early and get it done before things got hot. But what happened is, since I own this cache, I never download coordinates for caches I own into my GPS because I know where they are. And so I didn't actually have the coordinates for this one loaded. So we had to drive down to the visitor center in Peter Lougheed Provincial Park, connect to their Wi-Fi so I could get the coordinates. And while we were there, we decided to check out some of the campgrounds and things in that area, which really delayed our start of this hike. So I did plan it right, I just didn't execute it right. But we're getting close now, and I know the cache hint says it's in between two trees, so I'm hoping it's going to be in a shady spot, because wow, it is warm. But really, these views make the heat stroke and sunstroke worth it so much in the end. Off the trail now. Last 20 or 30 meters to the cache site. It's hidden a bit off the trail, which is why it's managed to stay out here for about 11 years and not disappear. Just trying to find a way through the undergrowth to get up to the cache location. Okay, about 10 meters to go. 7, 6, 5. I see it. There it is, underneath these trees. Perfect shady spot. Holy crap, made it. Wow, short hike, but I'm feeling it in the heat today. Here come Mabel and Emily. Dog assist engaged on the hillside. Wow. So a few years ago, Groundspeak, or I don't think they go by Groundspeak anymore. I think officially their company name is Geocaching now, but the geocaching powers that be changed the rules so you can't actually log a find on a cache that you own, which is unfortunate in situations like this because I've never been here before, never seen the cache before. Just because I own it doesn't mean I shouldn't be able to count this as a find, but Emily and Mabel will get fines out of it. I'll get to log it as owner maintenance, so there'll at least be some record I made it here. And I'm signing the log anyway, regardless of whether I can log it online. Ammo cans are absolutely amazing. Everything in here, the contents look as good today as the day that Graham hid this cache back in 2011. So there we go. There's the original page. On the way to Grizzly Creek by Geocache, our friends Graham and Maureen, hidden October the 11th, 2011, during Thanksgiving weekend. Graham and Maureen always had a tradition of camping out at Mount Kidd here in Kananaskis for Thanksgiving long weekend, often with the grandkids. And then December the 18th, 2011, our friend Harry, Bear GPS, came all the way up here in the snow to get the first to find on it. And now here we are, almost 11 years later, finally finding it ourselves.
And caches, people always put fun little toys and things for kids or adults who think they are kids like me. And this one happens to have a bag of creatures. They're fun little salamanders, lizards, and newts and things. I'm not going to take it because what would I do with them?
Yeah, but tell people what caught your attention.
There's a frog. The company's logo is a frog.
Uh-huh.
Anyway, yeah, they're going to go back in the cache. So if you want to find these, come on up to Grizzly Pass, Grizzly Creek, wherever we are.
Yeah. All right, well, I'm going to need both hands free for stabilization and balance as we go down the rocky slope again. So I'm going to put the camera away, and the next time we see you, we'll be back at camp.
And there we go. Back at camp. Morning of the Friday, getting ready to pack up and head out, and you can see Mabel's still trying to recover from yesterday's little hike and vehicle excursion. And I'm feeling kind of the same way. It was obviously way too hot to be out there and didn't drink enough water, and it's just very, very slow morning. But we've been putting things away, getting ready to pack up and head home.
I'm feeling okay, bit tired, enjoying coffee. Coffee makes everything better. Even if we felt completely fine, it's always nice for us to get home kind of early on our drive home days, just because we don't like to roll in late in the afternoon and have to unload everything and do laundry and get ready for our work week. It's nice to have a little bit of kind of downtime at home to prepare for the week. It's been a really great trip.
I don't think there's enough coffee in the world to get me through this morning.